Happy morning, friends. Here's yours, Dr. Rajanta. Welcome to day 29 session. Today we are just going to see the last part of for loop in Python, accessing the index in for loop. Dear friends, the enumerate function is useful when we wanted to access both values and its index number or any sequence such as list or string. For an example, a list is an ordered data structure that stores each item with its index number. Using the item's index number, we can access or modify its value. Using enumerate functions with a loop, we can access the list item with their index number. The enumerate, the function, adds a counter to iteration and returns it in the form of an enumerable objects. There are three ways to access the index in for loop. Let's see one by one. And here it is the first example. Dear friends, kindly have a look of it. See, print elements of the list with its index number using the enumerate function. So here what we are just going to see is using the index, that is the for loop iterations through the list, and it is going to display the elements along with the index value, that is index number. So see here, dear friends, we are just having the variable number, and it is just declaring a list, and here it is the list elements. And what we want to do is, by using the for loop, we are just going to make use of that enumeration of that number. We have to execute the exact index and to the top element value with the exact list elements. So kindly have a look of it once on execution. See here, dear friends, here it just creates the index of 0 1 2 3 4, and when just coming to the element, it just makes the key and its pair. So here for the index of 0, the element is 4, and for 1 it is 2, and respectively. Next, you can just make use of the same functionality by using range. Here what we are just going to do is, we are just going to separate what is the index value, index number, and to the value number. So by using range, let me just make use of the code snippet. Then after executing, so kindly just see it, friends, dear. See here, 0, index is 0, value is 1, and index is 1 and value is 2. So here respective elements of the number, the list is number. Here we are just having the exact value and specified index value. And next comes the iterate string using for loop. Dear friends, by looping through the string function, that is using for loop, we can do lot of string operations. Let's see how to perform various string operations by using this for loop. So first, let me just see a for loop with a string, and see here, dear friends, language is equal to Python for letter in language. How this is going to be happening is, here I'm just making it into two methods. One, the printing of the Python, okay, and second also it is just going to make use of the Python but with the range function. Okay, so what the first one it just do is directly taking it as a variable, and from the variable it just makes or respective values of each and every letter from the string, it would just execute it. And secondly, by using the range method, yeah, it just identify what is the length of that exact variable, so that is the string, and each and every time it just going to call to the top function, that is execute the exact variable number with the index value I. And see here, dear friends, both are the same thing, which we just have python, again one more python by using the method range. Okay, next comes the printing the element of a string by using for loop. And see here, to the same previously we have just seen, that is declaring the Python to that of language variable. Here without any declaration, we are just directly applying to that of elements, and with that we are just get executing one by one. Let I just execute it, dear friends. Kindly just have a root of it, even though the space is also be included as one among the character. And the next one, accessing all the characters of the string. And see here, dear friends, we are not just going to print it one by one or any other thing, just printing only the name, and whether whatever be the characters it have. And see here, dear friends, this is what. And you can also make use of the string function by reverse order. Let me just use the same thing, but one and only thing here as to the last one, that is after making the start, stop and stepwise. Here we are just making it as a reverse order by iterating it from the backward. And here it is the thing, see here, dear friends. So NAJA, it just specify the word ajan. Fine. Next comes the exact iteration over a particular set of characters in string. And see here, previously we have just didn't specify any the start or start element or end element or start value or end value, but here we are just specifying it where to start and where to end, and what is the step size. And see here, dear friends, when on just making it as a start function, it is J, it is where it starts from, and next it just makes it till 7. Let I just execute, dear friends. See here, till the second one it just going to enter this. I'm just surprising whether the space is also included or not. Next, let me just see an example of iteration over words in a sentence. So previously we have just to see only the given words. Second one, we have just made use the same words with the reverse order. Here let me just take a whole sentence as in a word and iterate one by one. And see here, dear friends, here each and every word has been iterated in the means of white space. Yeah, when it identify any white space, yeah, it seems to be as like nothing has to be done, so it just going to extract only the word which it just has the that is space, which is white space. Okay, next comes the example where you are just going to have, that is, see here, dear friends, for CH in ABC, yeah, you are just going to print that CH and making the total. Okay, and here what it just means it for I in range of 5, so from 0 to 4, and see here this 0 to 4, here what we are just going to have is A, B, C. Okay, anyhow, before to that, we want to make a declaration of total where total is already 0, and here you are just going to increment each and every time when this iterations passes. And next comes the ij in 1 comma 2 3 comma 1, and see here, dear friends, we are just going to have the tuple functionality where you are just going to have the exact element from that of it. And each and every time when you just make the total, and here it is a calculation of 1 into, sorry, I into j, which you are just going to add and add up with the total variable. And let me just see what is the total. It is just going to print it out. Kindly have a look after execution. Yeah, it is 14. Yeah, next comes the iterate list using for loop. Dear friends, this Python list is an ordered collection of items of different data types. It means the lists are ordered by index numbers string starting from 0 to the total items minus 1. So list items are enclosed in square bracket, which we have already seen in many examples, and here it is an example. See here, dear friends, number is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 4 comma 6 and 7, where players is Messi, Ronaldo and Neymar. So using a loop, we can perform various operations on the list. There are way to iterate through elements in 8. Here also some of the example to help you understand better. Let me just see one by one, dear friends. Kindly have a look of this iterate over list method and see here it is the list as 1 comma 2 comma 3 6 and 9, and I just want to print it one by one in vertical things. So kindly have a look of this. This is the exact output when you execute this code snippet. And the next one is just related with the list comprehension, and we didn't discuss anything about the list comprehension. So let me just make it as a pending for the come for the sessions. And next comes iterate over a list using a for loop and range. And see here, dear friends, we are just going to have the list which we are just storing it into the number variable, and next we are just need to analyze or get a data related to the length of that number, that is length of this list. And once for all, if you just get the result sorry size of the exact list, you can just make use of that range, and it can be done by the printing of each and every element one by one. And see here, dear friends, how we are just going to have is this 1 2 3 6 and 9 in horizontal manner. And see here, dear friends, next comes see here, as like a multiple functionality. Here what we are just going to do is a list of 15 sorry yeah list of an even numbers, where each and every list it just has 5 elements. So 5 into 5, it just results with 24 25 elements. And how you are just going to arrange is it in table of matrix. Next comes the printing the element of a list using for loop. See here, I want to print what is inside this double quotes, and each and every time I just want to make this iteration. And as here only one single iteration, which it just has 3 elements, 60, hello world and 90.96. So whereas first it just prints about the 60, and in the second line it just prints about the hello world, and third time it just makes the execution of 90.96. Next, coming to the one more example. See here, dear friends, find the sum of all numbers stored in a list. Find the sum of all the thing which we stored in the list. And see here, here it is the program where a list of the number we are just having 653842561. So totally we are just having 9 elements, and when variable to store the sum of, we want to declare a variable sum is equal to 0. And here starts the iteration, dear friends, kindly have a note of it. For val in number, and for val each and every element in numbers. And what is the numbers? 653842561. And once for each that is extracting or accessing one element by one in the numbers, which we are just having a huge of 9 elements. And each and every time when it just executes, it just provides the value for summation, and it just go on. So here it is the exact summation of that value. Okay, next coming to the calculate the square of each number using for loop. Yeah, here it is the list, and we are just going to have an iteration of each and every element in the list. And here it just starts the exponential operator. So exponential operator, that see here, dear friends, when we are just going to have the iteration of this I and over the number of 0 1 2 3 4 5. So every time it just takes each value and executes the algorithm inside the loop. It is also possible to iterate over a nested list illustrated here with an example. Kindly have a look, dear friends. See here, I just execute this one. Yes, here we are. So see here, dear friends, so number, it is the exact value, sorry, variable, and here we are having the list of 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, and where it just has the exact element of, there is number of elements uh, being it in the list, which is just going to contain. So it is said to be the definite iteration. So how many numbers is there? So that is the exact thing to be iterated. And as we want to make the average of the list, first step we have to make the summation. Yeah, kindly just look out the code snippet where for I in numbers, yeah, I, it is the index of the exact list, and sum is equal to sum plus 1. Each and every time it is just going to make the addition of, and here it is the exact list underscore size where it is just going to calculate or count what is the number of elements in this. So once for all getting the list size, yeah, we are just going to divide it with the sum to obtain the average, and here it is the result. And see here, next we are just going to make use of this thing with the range function. Yeah, of course, the color is equal to, we are just having three element where it just going to print what is the length. Okay, so it as it is executed, so 3 would be the exact answer for the length, and when on receiving that as a range of function, so range of length of color, and the color, it is the exact variable of this list, and I just want to print each and every color. So here, see, dear friends, already we have just specified that 3 is the exact default length of the color here, and once for all it is just going to execute the every element into that of color. And here one more thing where we are just going to have as a 3 into 3 matrix, because we are just having three element in the substance things of as a content of list of list. And once for all, if you just get the or extract this list value, and if you just make it using the functionality here, it would print one by one. Sorry. Fine, fine. Yeah, here it is. Next comes the iterate tuple using for loop. And see here, dear friends, this Python list, only the difference is that list is enclosed between square bracket and tuple between the parentheses, and we cannot change the element of the tuple once it is assigned, that is immutable. So whereas we can change the element of the list, that is mutable. And here we are just going to make use of the exact example, that is number is equal to tuple of 1 2 4 6 and 7, and with the players, yeah, it is also having going to have the three elements into the top tuple as Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar. And see, using a loop we can perform various operations on the tuple, so there are ways to iterate through elements in it, and here are the some of the example, dear friends. The same thing here, it is specified, and one by one it is going to execute it from the element of tuple. And next comes the dictionary. Yeah, we have already seen what is the dictionary, and it is of elements. And see here, dear friends, Python dictionary is used to store the items in the format of key and value pairs. So it does not allow duplicate items. It is enclosed with uh, flower braces. And here are some of the example. Kindly have a look of it. That is dictionary 1 is equal to 1 colon apple, 2 colon ball, and 3 colon cat, which it just says 1 2 3 or the key, and apple, ball, cat or the value. And there are few ways to iterate through key value pairs, and here let me just see one by one. See here, dear friends, in the example 1, we are having a dictionary of antibiotic, penicillin, inventor, Fleming, year 1928. So here how the exact key and value are present with respectively, but here what I want to execute is only the key value, not to the top value. Okay, and you can also make use of that key of and the value of the dictionary by directly making use of this symbol, that is minus unto the greater than symbols, which is just denote us like an arrow. And see here, dear friends, it is just execute both the things by the key as like vaccine inventor year, and where the value or polio sock and 1953. Okay, dear friends, let me just see one more example with the dictionary 1, where it has the key and the value respectively by vaccine, smallpox, inventor, genre, year 1796. So here to the same as to the previous example for value in dict1 dot val. So here it just going to get the value of each and every element, and it would be printing it. Okay, fine, dear friends. Let me just move on to the next one, where it just explains the for loop with the dictionary. Okay, for loop with dictionary, and we are just going to print every element into the top iterations. So see here, it's just going to get the persons and its exact attributes and to the top value, like first name, last name, age, and the country, whether it is married, and what about the skill set, the exact the first name person that would just have, and there is an address. And see here, dear friends, here what we need is each and every time when we just move on to that of functionality, here we need how to make use of the exact functionality by analyzing the key and then the value. And see here, dear friends, here what we just going to make you, once I execute it, you can just able to see the first one, it just prints only the key. That is, here it's exactly only the key till first name till address. And next here we have just assigned an arrow mark, where it just implies what is the first name and to the top result, and last name, country, and to every attribute as then. And next, last but not least, we are just going to see about iterate sets using for loop. And see here, dear friends, this Python sets is an unordered collection of item. Every set element is unique. There is no duplicates and must be immutable, that is cannot be changed. And here there is an example of a set which itself is a mutable, and we can add or move items from it. And see here, dear friends, my set is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3, and my vaccine is equal to penicillin, Fleming, and 1928. Okay, let me just make it with an example. See here, dear friends, mixed fruits is equal to banana, apple, mango, orange, guava, kiwi, and grape. And here we are just going to get every keys only. Okay, every keys we are just able to make it, and once for all we want to print it, how to make only the uh, values of it. Okay, so let I just execute here, sorry. And here it is the exact example of it. And see here, dear friends, sets can also be used to perform mathematical set operations like union, intersection, symmetry, difference, etc. And dear friends, kindly have a look of the exercise provided, how these patterns can be drawn or how a multiplication table can be used, and make use of some libraries here, and you can just explore each and every exercise. Thank you, dear friends.